Hello, welcome to my channel. I am Mare. This is NiteMare Bliss. I do unboxings, candle reviews, makeup and skincare, pet stuff, you name it. Kind of a lifestyle thing with an emphasis on some makeup, skincare, because I am a retired makeup artist, esthetician, nail tech, and hairstylist. And now I live on a mountain in the middle of nowhere where I do all that for YouTube. And I groom dogs, but don't spread it around. But I am enjoying this coffee. If you know what my usual coffee is, you are a true friend. This is the Toasted Caramel Crunch from Wawa with oat milk. I was up at 4 a.m. Don't ask. I've been going to bed early. Anyway, if you're new here, welcome. This is No Tag Tuesday, where we get a list of questions from someone in our group. We get it in an email and we answer the questions. I just put it out there that I'm willing to come up with some questions and I'm going to need some help. So if any of my subs, all of you people who watch me all the time, if you have a suggestion for a question that you would like to put in for No Tag Tuesday, comment below. This is No Tag Tuesday 426 Chaos Edition. This is a hard one. I've already been reading through these and now everything is based on weirdness. Weirdest thing, weirdest place, weirdest movie, weird trait. I am weird. So weird to me is normal to most people, if that makes sense. Things that are really normal to me are like outlandish, crazy, weird, nutty, cuckoo, wackadoo. To normies. I call you guys, no offense, I say it with love, with peace and love, normies. I am the weirdo. We are the weirdos, mister. With that all being said, this is kind of tricky for me because a lot of the weirdest things to most people are really normal to me. Weirdest thing the weirdest thing that I've ever eaten, number one, I don't have one. The best I can come up with was that years ago, I went to Philadelphia with my friend Jamie, and we went to Morimoto's. If you recognize that name, it's because he's Iron Chef Morimoto. We went to his restaurant in Philadelphia, and he has a chef's choice. I forgot what it's called. Oh my God, I'm embarrassed. I'm not a foodie. I can't remember. It's when the chef comes up with a tasting thing and they don't tell you what it is. You just say, we want the chef's tasting thing. Anyway, it's when you go to a sushi restaurant and it's like chef's choice. We got this beautiful plate of sushi. This was before I was like vegan, vegetarian. It was like when I was eating anything and everything, whatever. And I still didn't eat meat really. I ate seafood, but I've never been a meat eater. Not really a huge fan. That's just me. The waiter brought the sushi out and he said, the chef, as in Morimoto, suggests that you start at this end and you eat your way to this end because that's the way he planned it. And each thing kind of like the flavors open up and blossom into the next thing. So the weirdest thing I've ever ate, I don't know. I don't know what that was. The guy came over, the waiter, and said, this is this. I don't remember. It was a lot of stuff I would never order, right? Mostly things I would never order, and if I see it on a menu now, I'm like, when you order something like that, it's usually a little pricey, but this was the best way we described it when we went to Morimoto's restaurant in Philly back in the day. Jamie and I said it wasn't dinner, it was an experience. We couldn't even call it a dinner. It was an eating experience. It was the first time I ate something so bougie and so fancy. I don't want to say bougie. I've been to some really fancy restaurants, but this was the first time that we ate something that was like curated by a chef. Normally I'm like, I don't know. I like to know what I'm eating. And I trusted it. I trusted Morimoto and he did not disappoint. So the weirdest thing I ever ate is I don't know what I ate. I ate whatever Morimoto gave us and it was phenomenal and delicious. And I have never again had anything like it, and it's been a very long time. So Morimoto, I know you're not seeing this, but it was one of the most brilliant, amazing meals of my life. Number 2, weirdest place you've been. I don't know. This is Hell, Michigan. And I was there on June 6th of, was it 2006? So it was 666, and we went to Hell, Michigan. There is a town in Michigan called Hell. Hi, Michiganders, you know where Hell is. Somewhere there's a photo of me. I wish I could find it, but I'm never going to find it in time to put it in this video. There's a picture of me in front of the Hell, Michigan sign with two of my Italian greyhounds dressed in devil costumes. I took them with me. We went as like the devil family, and I had all, and they had shirts. I actually gave the shirt to my niece. It says Hell, Michigan 666. So Jamie and I went to Hell, Michigan on June 6th, 2006. So it was 666. So I would say that's like the weirdest place I've been, because it was a once in a lifetime thing. They said to be there on 666 was like the next time that comes around, we're all gonna be long gone. Okay. So weirdest movie you've watched. Number 3, The Little Matchstick Girl. No one is gonna know what that movie is. But Jamie and I went to the Detroit Film Theater, which is the film theater at the DIA. And you'll hear a lot of these stories about our Jamie and I, because my friend Jamie and I were roommates back in Detroit on the Wayne State campus in Detroit. He was in medical school. I was his roommate. He's the lead singer of my ex-band, my old band, still my band, I guess. And I played bass and he was a singer. And we always said we were basically the Detroit version of Anthony Kiedis and Flea. I mean, we have that kind of friendship. We have all this history. And our songs, we just meshed, you know, Jamie and I just writing songs together. It was really cool. So a lot of my answers and experiences and things on this channel, I have a lot of stories with Jamie and I, because Jamie and I have been friends longer than I've been with my husband. And I have been with my husband 22 years. So Jamie and I have been friends for a lot of our lives. It's getting to be more of our lives than, we've been friends more of our lives than we have not been. Wait, yeah, I met him when I was in my early 20s. Anyway, the weirdest movie I watched was with Jamie. We went to the Detroit Film Theater, which is the artsy-fartsy film theater at the Detroit Institute of Arts. And they show all these international films, and they're all subtitled, and they're super, super indie, like never going to be wide released. The odds of them even being on Netflix or anywhere like that, I don't even know if you could find them. But there was this movie, I can't remember if it was from Denmark or where it was from, but it was called The Little Matchstick Girl. And it was based on, I think there's a fable or something called that. We watched the whole movie, and then the screen goes black and it goes, Finn. You know, like it's done. And Jamie and I look at each other like, what did we just watch? Like, it never did anything. It was like 90 minutes of a movie that went nowhere and did nothing. We were really, okay, I was an artist. I was showing paintings in galleries. I was like Miss, ooh, look at me. I'm spooky artist girl. I did spoken word crap at coffee houses in the 90s. I mean, I was an artsy fartsy girl. And even I went, what? You know it's bad if people in a band who are musicians and very creative and artists go, what the hell did I just watch? Okay, I can appreciate artsy movies. I love art house movies. I've seen so many of them back in the day at the Detroit Film Theater, Royal Oak Music Theater, or Royal Oak Movie Theater, all that. This one, we could not find anything about it. So Little Matchstick Girl, some international movie we saw, it was so bizarre. It was so weird. Even the subtitles, there were scenes where it would just go on and they didn't talk for like 10, 15 minutes. It was just them doing things. It was kind of creepy. Number 4, what is one weird trait that you have? One? I don't know. God. I don't know. What's a trait? I mean, a weird trait. You guys could probably say a weird trait better than I could. A weird trait. I would say I talk to myself all the time, but a lot of people do that, so I don't think that's as weird as I think it is. I would say I named my car, but a lot of people do that. I enjoy, okay, I guess it's a weird trait. I don't see chickens as food. I see them as equivalent to my dogs. I see them exactly as I see my dogs. And you think, okay, I would never eat my dog, right? Or my cat or whatever. Well, that's how I see chickens. And I never saw them that way until I got chickens, because I'm like, hey, let's get chickens so we can have fresh eggs. And then I got to know them and I got to see their personalities and how funny they are. And they actually form relationships, and it's crazy. I mean, do your research about chickens. It really, I mean, I'm not going to go preachy like vegetarian, vegan or anything, but me personally, once they say once you awaken to that, you can never go back. I can never eat chicken again. I haven't eaten chicken, I don't know, in like 10 years or more, and I don't want to ever again. Thank God for Beyond Meat nuggets and stuff, and I don't even like those that much. I'm just not a fleshy eating person, but I love my chickens, and I don't think it's weird to have to take a nap with a chicken sleeping next to me. I love kissing my rooster on the cheek, and don't get me started with the don't kiss chickens, you'll get salmonella. I kiss chickens and I don't care. I've had birds since 2010, 2011, chickens and ducks. Been kissing them all that time. Never once got sick. So, you know, but you wash your hands a lot, biosecurity. I have very clean birds. I'm very careful. And it's not like I kiss them on the cheek. Okay. I kiss my chickens. There you go. How's that for a weird trait? I like kissing chickens. Bite me. Number 5, what's the weirdest thing you've ever done? I have a couple of them. I would say the weirdest thing I've ever done, because who does this? I crashed Rob Zombie's Halloween party at the, they do the Halloween Horror Nights out in LA. And it was back in, I think I'm say 1996 or something, 1997, something like that, Halloween. It was the first time Rob Zombie did a haunted house at Halloween Horror Nights. And I went, and we crashed his party. They said that Rob Zombie was somewhere in his haunted house, but there were a whole bunch of Rob Zombies in there. So you didn't know, you're like, which one's the real one? And if you're a real fan, you could tell. And I actually went right up to him like, hi, Rob, I know it's you. So, and he kind of laughed. Because if you really were a Rob Zombie fan, you could tell who was the real one and who wasn't, even though the costumes were great. That was one of the best haunted houses ever, by the way. The Rob Zombie one. Holy crap. The very first one he ever did. It was so cool. So, in one of the eating, commissary areas, they had kind of like a private party for Rob Zombie and his band. Everybody was there. And somehow I snuck into it. I think I told this story before. I ended up hanging out talking to Rob Zombie's bass player and his drummer because they had just played in Detroit. I'm like, oh my God, I saw you guys in Detroit. And I'm in a band there. I've played at that theater. It was so cool to know I was on the same stage as you guys, yada, yada, yada. And we're just chit-chatting like musicians. It was really cool. And they go, how is the sound? Did we sound okay? Because the sound on the stage was weird. And I think I've told the story in another video, but we're just chit-chatting. And then I went over and I met Rob Zombie, and he was holding a slice of pizza, and he went like this, and he went, hi, I'm Rob. And I went, yeah, I know. And his girlfriend was a bitch, and she had us kicked out. And she was dressed as a daisy, an effing daisy. You're Rob Zombie's girlfriend, and you dress as a daisy? Not a zombie? Not a zombie bride? Not a ghost even? Like something? A freaking hippie-ass daisy is what she was dressed as. I got kicked out of Rob Zombie's party by a GD daisy. I will never get over that. But screw her. I still got to meet the band, and I still snuck in. And then security escorted us out nicely. So I would say that's probably the weirdest thing I've ever done, because who does that? Back then it was like, that's normal to me. What is your favorite weird song? A friend of mine shared this song I can't remember the name of the band, but it was called Snake Farm. If I can find it, I'll put a link below. And it's so weird. It's like this weird, like, dirty, grungy kind of song. And that's one of the weirdest. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it gets stuck in my head all the time. And I swear if I put a link below and I find the video and you watch it, I guarantee, like, at least once in a great while, you'll be going, do Snake Farm. It's like this stupid song. Even my friends who I only played it for once, they bring up that song and they remember the words to it. It's really weird. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it is a weird song. I don't really have a favorite weird song. All my favorite songs are like pretty standard favorite songs. Well, at least in my genre. But that is a weird song, I think. It's not your normal one. And my other favorite weird song would be anything Tom Waits. Probably maybe Train Song by Tom Waits. And most people, now to me that's a normal song, but most people would hear Train Song by Tom Waits and they would be like, that is the weirdest song ever. Or, God, what else? Pasties in a G-String by Tom Waits. Like anybody, if you know it, you know it. If you don't, I love Tom Waits. I saw him in concert in Chicago. I saw Mark Ribot, his guitar player. I saw him do a solo show, which is the weirdest show I ever saw. To call it playing guitar it was more like guitar performance art. Anyway, I told you I did weird stuff back in Detroit. Number 7, what's your favorite weird but possibly true story, i.e. Bigfoot, Loch Ness? I would say I like the Loch Ness Monster story because I love dinosaurs and the thought that there might be a dinosaur still. There's probably there's chickens. Chickens are my dinosaurs. There's proof that birds are descended from dinosaurs, okay? It's a scientific fact. That's why I call my chickens my little dinosaurs. And I always hug them and say I have little dinosaurs. I love their feet because they're like dinosaur feet. I know they freak people out, but I think they're cool. So yeah, I would say Loch Ness Monster because I love dinosaurs. I think they're fascinating. And I don't know. 8, who's considered the weirdest person in your family? You're looking at her. Of course I'm the weirdest one in my family. Before me, it was my Aunt Marge, who was like the black sheep weirdo of the family. And I took up that mantle after she passed. Now I am the weirdest. I'm the weird aunt. I'm the weird sister. I'm the weird aunt, and I am very proud of it. I say it all the time. I'm a weirdo, and I don't care. I'd rather be a weirdo than boring. Marilyn Monroe famously said she'd rather be anything but boring, and I agree. I think it was Marilyn Monroe, right? I hope so, or otherwise I just really screwed that up. Number 9, what's the weirdest habit you have? I don't have it. I don't know. Wow, this is hard. My husband could probably answer these faster than me. He'd be like, oh, this, oh, that, oh. My husband would say my weirdest habit is starting a story and then never finishing it. But that's common, right? A lot of people say, oh my God, I do the same thing. So I'll start a story and then I'll start another story. Then that'll lead to like 5 more stories. And then I'll finish the story that I first started way back here. But in my mind, there's an invisible thread connecting them all. And you just have to follow along and play along with it. And I eventually get there, you know? So I'd say that's kind of a weird habit is I start one story and I tell like 5 other stories. And then I finish the first story. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of an ADHD thing. I've never been diagnosed with that, but my husband swears I have it. I don't think I do. Sometimes I think I do, but sometimes I think I'm just like, I call it being creative. I'm a creative person. I think on so many levels at one time. And there's definitely, I have a friend who is diagnosed ADHD, and I am not like that. I'm more like, I'm operating on like 10 different levels at any one time. My brain is thinking of all things simultaneously. I'm not getting distracted by things. I am the ultimate multitasker, I would say. As a person, I'm probably multitasking about 10 to 20 things at any one time. Most people don't do that. That's what I do. So I guess maybe that's a weird habit. I multitask multiple, I mean, not just 2 and 3 things, like 5 to 10, 20 things at a time are going on in my head. But I don't get distracted and off track and things. I just have it all going on at once. Now I do, as I said, I have a friend who is diagnosed ADHD, was on off and on for meds for it, blah, blah, blah. And I am nothing like that. In fact, we were roommates for a while, and it's not Jamie. We were roommates for a while, and it drove me batty. So I was like, I know I'm not like that. I was like, please take your meds. Okay, number 10, what's your favorite weird pastime, i.e. festival, sport? Weird pastime? Chicken keeping? Is that weird? I don't think it's that weird. A lot of people are chicken keepers now. My favorite weird pastime, well, in the past it was skydiving, because that's just not something people do every weekend for fun, but I don't know, a lot of my new subs won't know this, but there are some videos of me skydiving. That's how I met my husband. I met him skydiving, and I always say I met the perfect guy who I love with all my heart, and we fall in love with each other every day over and over, and all I had to do to find him was jump out of a perfectly good airplane. So, you know, if you're looking for all the really cute, hot guys, they're probably at drop zones. Extreme sports guys, girl, oh my God. Girls and boys, let me tell you, extreme sports dudes, there's something about them. I don't know. I mean, I'm an adrenaline person. I'm an adrenaline junkie, or at least I used to be. Now I'm kind of like a recovering adrenaline junkie. Now I'm like, but I still have that crazy adrenaline junkie thing. But there's just a thing that there's like, motocross guys. My husband did motocross. He skydived. You know, he's into all that. And awesome. And skydiving guys are usually pretty freaking cool. They're down to earth. They don't like drama. All they want to do is jump out of airplanes. And if you can deal with that, then you might find a good one. Like I did. Anyway, so I guess skydiving, but I haven't done it in quite a while for various reasons, mostly because I was running. So I took time off skydiving because I didn't want to land badly and mess up an ankle or a knee, because I tend to land horribly when I skydive. But I've done over 130 skydives. My husband and I have our own rigs. We have our own parachutes, our own helmets, our own everything. Spent a lot of money on it over the years. We used to go to boogies. Boogies are destination big parties at drop zones where you go skydiving, and there was one in Chicago. Skydive Chicago was awesome. I jumped out of a C-130. That's probably one of the weirdest things I've ever done. I jumped out of a C-130 over Chicago. And it was my 100th jump, and my husband and I did a kiss pass, which means we shot out of the back of a C-130 going a couple 100 miles an hour. Us, not the plane. You jump out the back, and when you jump out the back, you're like launched out of it. So we jumped out the back of the C-130. We flew over to each other skydiving. We kissed each other. Then we cleared. You clear. Check your altimeter, your altimeter. All the, you need to know where to open your chute, so it has time to open. You check how much longer do you have before you better have a chute over your head. You clear, which is you wave off. So you do that. So you make sure that you don't want to open your chute too close to somebody else. That's how accidents happen. So you have to clear and you have to fly away. We kissed and then we flew opposite directions. So you go kiss and then you go woo and you fly as far away as you can. So when your chute opens, they don't tangle together or anything weird like that. That's scary and horrifying, and that's how people have deadly accidents. Not kissing. Opening too close to each other and things like that. So yeah, we did a kiss pass. We separated, we landed, and that was probably the best jump of my life, jumping out of a C-130 over Skydive Chicago and kissing my husband in the air in the process on my 100th jump. That was freaking awesome. That was something that I think most people will never do. And I think of all these weirdest list things, top that one. With that, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching and hearing crazy stories about my life. If you think that's crazy, I have Seriously, I have like 30 years of those stories. I made a joke that I can do YouTube forever because I will never run out of crazy stories from my lifetime because I've done so much. I've probably lived like 5 lifetimes. Oh my God, I just found my crease piece. I was looking for this. See? There I go with different stories again. That's what I do. I'm easily distracted. The name of my channel used to be Easily Distracted because that's what I am, but I was like, no, I need to change it. My friend Jeremy actually changed it to NiteMare Bliss for me. He's the one who helped me come up with that. Blame him. I was easily distracted and I still am. Anyway, thanks for watching. Go check everyone out below, see what their answers are. Also, like, subscribe if you want to. Tell me what your favorite weird things are. If you want to tell me weird things about you, feel free. I always read my comments and like to chat with everyone and hear your feedback. What else? Oh yeah, come back tomorrow. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Put your questions below if you want to suggest any. Thanks. Bye.